Thinking about leaving your soul sucking 9 to 5 job, one of the biggest struggles I see people, especially as women, face is the idea of having that safety net, that enticing perks and benefits, and listening to that head trash of what will people think if I leave. I totally get it, and I've been where you are. That's why I created a free guide to help you if you're thinking about putting in that notice. It's called Unlocking Your Exit Plan. Discover 5 things you need to do before leaving your 9 to 5. This guide is filled with worksheets and steps so you will have hand holding along the way. You can download your copy in the link in the show notes, and again, it's totally free. Now back to today's episode. Welcome back to another episode of the Hello Sis Dorsey podcast. I have Kristy here on the podcast. So excited. How are you doing today, Kristy?
I am doing great. I'm so excited to be here.
Awesome. Yes, this is, I think we were supposed to start off doing your podcast, I think like maybe a month or 2 months ago, and
Yeah,
things like hectic in both of our lives. So we just kind of
right.
like move things around. But nevertheless, I'm really excited to have you on the show today. So let everyone know who you are and what you do.
Sure. So my name is Kristy Yoder. I am the founder and CEO of SmartVAs. SmartVAs is a virtual assistant agency. We assign a team of virtual assistants to overwhelmed businesses. I was born and raised in Manila, Philippines. I moved from the Philippines to the States just about 3.5 years ago. And now I have a team of 70 plus virtual assistants who are helping me with my business and who are helping our clients scale their business even further. And I also host a podcast called Master Delegator.
Awesome. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to definitely link that up in the show notes. So let's talk about the inspiration behind you starting your business. What was that like for you?
Well, you know what? When I was, younger, like during my younger years, like I didn't really think about becoming a business owner. Growing up in a third world country, you don't really aspire. It's like sometimes you don't really have the opportunity to aspire for something big. And so, becoming a business owner, this is in a way, not really something that I was thinking about when I was younger. But lately I realized that, even when I was in my grade school days, in high school days, I already have that entrepreneurial spirit in me. And I just didn't realize that what I was doing back then was considered like a business, like I was considered like a business owner during that time. Because to me, when I was selling things online, when I was, trying to help my mom with her small business during that time, I didn't think about, running a business at all or being a part of a business because in my head, I thought that I was just doing that because we need something, to help us pay our bills and in order to eat 3 times a day. And so and so now that I am a business owner, I was just kind of reflecting on what I did when I was in grade school and high school and what my mom taught me. And I realized that everything most of the lessons and the experience that I have right now, it came from my childhood years, and it came from my mom. So my mom had a great influence on me. And now that I am a grown up, woman, I I started a business not because I want, again, not because I want to be a business owner, like I feel like for some people they want to have a business, or they want to have a business because they want to be called a business owner or an entrepreneur or a solopreneur or whatever you call a person who owns a business. But to me, I started my own business because of the vision that I had. And it's not really about the title of, being a business owner. It's because I have a vision that, when I get married, because when I started my freelancing career. That's the time when I was about to get married with my fiance during that time, and now he's my husband. And so I started a business because I couldn't envision myself being married to my husband and being a mom to my kids and going to the office working from 9 to 5 and be busy, and a lot of times if you work, in an office, and if you work, 8 to 9 hours a day in an office, you have to like travel every day. And I think most of the time you neglect your family. You don't have time for your friends, for your loved ones. And so I started a business out of my out of the vision that I want to be there for my family and for my future kids. I don't have kids yet right now, but I feel like whenever that time happens, I'm ready. And so to just, you know, answer your question in a short way, I started a business. My inspiration for starting a business is that because I had the vision 3 or 4 years ago about how I want my life to look like 5 or 10 years from now, or from that time, from 3 years ago.
This is beautiful. I love this so much. And I love the fact that your vision and your goals and your dreams is is other people, future people that's not even in your life currently. So I love the fact that you're like, I don't want really I'm not really like doing this for to have that title or business owner. I'm doing this just so when I do get ready to have children, family and everything, I can be there for, my kids. And you and I are a lot alike in that sense because I essentially want to start and build my business just so I can be at home with my kids. I don't have any kids now, but I'm moving towards that vision and that future. And I
Mhm.
really love your goals in that. And it's so inspiring that your vision is completely different from what other people aspire to be. So I really,
Thank
really
you.
like that. Yes, yes. So can you remember a time in your business or starting out where you had a hello moment? Like, I know you touched on it previously, but was there a moment while it could be while when you first started off or while you were working in your business where you're like, "Oh, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing."
Yeah, I have had a lot of hello moments for the past 3 years that I've been running a business. But I think my main hello moment was when I started delegating, when I started hiring full-time virtual assistants to help me with my business. So I started as a virtual assistant, and I am a multi-skilled person. Like I can do different things from admin to customer service to technical stuff. And so when I was a virtual assistant, I was the one doing everything for my clients, and even for my own business. And so when I started hiring other virtual assistants and I tried delegating to them, it wasn't easy at first, but the freedom and flexibility that I got out of delegation, that was really my like light bulb moment. I thought to myself that if I hadn't, hired more people to help me in my business, I wouldn't be where I am right now. So from one virtual assistant, which was me when I started my business, now we are a team of 70 plus virtual assistants, and we have helped since 2019. We have helped 300 plus businesses already. And I won't be able to help 300 plus businesses if I was the only one doing everything alone. And so during that light bulb moment, I thought to myself that I need to let go of control. I need to let go of being such a perfectionist. I need to let go of being know it all, like a person who tends to think that I know it all and that I can do it all and that nobody can do something as good as I do, And so I think when you that light bulb moment that I had as well, I think that also speaks a lot about myself, because when I was delegating, there's a lot of things internally that's going on in me, there's pride, there's ego, because sometimes when we're busy, when we're hustling, when our calendars are full, when we meet with clients, every day. And, when we're in meetings, we feel like we are valuable because we have a lot of meetings. And when we hustle hard, and when we work in our business, when we're so busy, we feel like we are valuable because we're doing a lot of things. But that is not really what a business owner should do. We need to protect our calendar, and we should only be doing the things that we are supposed to do. So, yeah, I think, yeah, starting to delegate, I think, and being effective in that area, and looking at, because when I delegate, I don't really just delegate for the sake of like delegating something that I don't want to do. I always look at my financial statement, my business financial statement every end of the month, and see if my delegation strategy has brought me back some income to my business. And you know after 3 months of hiring my first full-time virtual assistant, I 10 times my business revenue. And so that was really my light bulb moment. And so that's why I've been passionate about teaching delegation to other people, because I've tried it myself. It's proven and tested, and it worked for my business. And so I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work for other business owners as well.
This is really good. I'm just sitting here like so much. So, so quick question. This is not on the list of my questions. I always love to go down a rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah. So when you were starting out, w- how did you get your first clients? Like, what was your strategy for getting your clients? Was it more word of mouth, or were you on social media? What was that like for you getting your first clients?
Okay, so getting my first client was very different than how we get our clients today. And you know what? I am proud to say that my very first client as a virtual assistant, I didn't even have my agency back then. I was the only one. I'm the virtual assistant. I'm proud to say that my first virtual assistant client, he is still our client as of today. And they're also mind blown when they saw how big the agency have grown, because they knew that they were my first client. And so when I was starting out and I was looking for my first ever client, you know what I feel like I was very real and authentic during that time. Not like today, where I was. I mean, I'm still authentic and real, today, but I am more strategic. But during the time that I was looking for my first client, I was real authentic and also desperate. And during that time, Instagram and Facebook were very, popular. I mean, until today they're very popular, but that's a time that they were like blooming, and more and more business owners are using them. And so I went on Instagram, or I went to Instagram, and then I just look up digital marketing agency owners, and I found this one Instagram profile that is a marketing agency. They're based out of Canada, and I just reached out to them. I During that time I didn't even know about, messaging, knowing your unique value proposition, and so on and so forth. I just messaged them and I said, "Hey, my name is Kristy Yoder. I'm from the Philippines." No, my last name during that time was not Yoder yet. My name is Kristy Berges, my maiden name, and I'm a virtual assistant. I'm looking for clients. These are the things that I can do for you. And they responded to my mess. To be honest, I don't know. It's also weird to me that they responded to my message, because when I read my message to them, after a couple of years, I was like, my message was so cheesy. It's like very desperate, but that worked. And up until now, they still like me. They still work with us. So that's how I got my first client. And of course, I think because of my personality, and because of how I value my clients, and because of the value that we provide, to our clients, or specifically to that first client that I had, up until now, they're still our clients.
I love it so much. You got scrappy. That's what you call it. And a lot of people think in the beginning you have to have these wonderful, beautiful words, or you have to have a portfolio, you have to have all this stuff, and you have to have a website, you have to have everything, all the bells and whistles to get started.
No.
And that's actually what's holding us back a lot of times. My first client was actually from Craigslist,
Mm,
and I had her book featured on my blog. And she asked me, she said, "Do you do like book marketing and everything?" I was like, No, I really don't." She was like, "Oh, okay. Oh, too bad." So then I thought about it and thought about it. And I went through this whole virtual, I think it's called the Virtual Savvy. Well, it's the Savvy Boot
mhm,
Camp. Now it's the Savvy
yeah.
System. I went through that and everything. And after I finished programming everything, and I told her, I said, "Hey, I'm a virtual assistant now, and let me know if you need help with any task or anything." She was waiting for me. She was like, "Good. This is what I need help with." It wasn't even like, all formal, and we have to
Mhm.
do a discovery call. We have to do. She's like, "These are the tasks that I need help with. We can jump on a call and I can explain it to you." I was like, "Okay." I didn't even have to do anything extra, nothing pretty, nothing, no questionnaire or nothing
Yeah.
like that. It's just all about your, well, they say your sphere of influence and
Mhm.
reaching out to them first.
Yeah, and just be real. And
Right.
I feel like now, nowadays we overthink a lot of things. We overthink the message that we need to send to our prospects, I mean, yes, I mean, don't get me wrong, we need to make sure that our messaging is like solid, and it speaks a lot about the value that we can give to them. But sometimes when we overthink it, we are already like wasting our time just thinking about it too much, because when you think about it too much, then you end up just not sending a message at all, because you're like waiting for that perfect moment or for that perfect message to send to them. Whereas, with my own experience, I kind of like test different strategies on how to reach out to different people. And so I feel like you gotta do like different strategies or test different messaging and see what works, and just don't overthink it.
Any last minute advice you have for our listeners out there?
I have so many advice that I can give to business owners, but I think something that is really fresh and new to me, something that I have been realizing recently, with a big business comes bigger responsibilities, and bigger responsibilities means huge challenges, right? The more you grow, the more you grow your problems as well, and that is just inevitable. I feel like that is something that we just need to be in acceptance of, and something that we need to embrace, the challenges and the struggles that are gonna come along our way. And we need to prepare for that, not just prepare for the solutions that we should have for those problems, because I believe that, when we have problems, solutions are already out there. You go to Google, you talk to your friends, you talk to your business mentor, they will tell you what to do. And even us sometimes business owners, we already know what to do, but we are just so unsure. But what I have been realizing lately is that the problem really is not the problem, because there are solutions to the problem already. The problem is that when we deal with problems, it's it's stealing the joy and peace from our hearts, and once we let the problem control us instead of us controlling the problem, the more we let the problem control us, all the more we lose our joy and peace in our heart. And I think as a business owner, it's very important that we have joy and peace in our heart, that we are passionate about what we're doing, because once we lose that spark, we're dead. So I think what I just want to say is that know who you truly are as a business owner, because the more we face challenges every day, the more we are like getting stripped of our identity, if that makes sense, kind of like imposter syndrome, from time to time I still deal with that. But The moment my brain thinks about imposter syndrome, I replace that thought with something positive. And that something positive is something that I know who truly I am and what my identity is. And so when you know your identity as a person, even if you're not a business owner, you will not have a hard time facing challenges because you know who you are.
That is so awesome. So
Thank
where
you.
can everyone find you?
Okay, so I have my own personal website. It's Kristy, Kristy, Yoder, YODER.com. And if you go there, you'll be able to see the link to my virtual assistant agency and also my podcast.
Yes, and we'll definitely link those up in the show notes. Chrissy, I'm so happy you came on the show today. It has definitely been a wonderful treat for me.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.